on? Well, then if you're not comfortable doing it, okay, so let me find that key. Is that where you go to? Goes the higher one? Go grab my microphone. Right back.
So about 20 minutes ago, I asked Eric a question, and I said, Eric, in all the years, I've never asked this question before to a bar mitzvah father. And I said, look, Eric, I said, if you have a choice of making the service go longer tonight or shorter tonight, which one would you rather it be? So Eric said, well, I would normally say shorter because of the Phillies. He said, but it's 6-0. So, you're not like on pins and you don't have to. I go, 6-0. When I got out of the car, it was 4-0. So, yeah. So we'd like to designate someone to be our official reporter of the score. And after every half inning, if you can raise your hand, we'll call on you, even if we're in the middle of a prayer. It doesn't matter. We'll stop the prayer, you'll report, and we'll be okay. I'm just kidding. Good. Okay. Feel free to report to each other. It's... So, of course, we're in the holiday of Sukkot, and we're going to be going out to the Sukkah tonight. And I do a unit with my confirmation class called Sukkot, Judaism and the Environment. And if we can, we do it sitting inside the Sukkah, which we did Wednesday night, which was great. The weather was great, and it was great. So when I read over it again before this year's class, I was just really struck at how great Judaism is. Like Judaism says this about the environment. Like everybody should say this about the environment. So I'd like to, we're not going to really report the scores of the game, but between prayers, I'd like to share a couple of these, and then we'll make it through all 10 by the time we're over. So I call this my top 10 list of Judaism and the environment. Because why the environment? Because we go outside into nature, it's, The sukkah has to be made with, the roof has to be made with things that grew at one time. Okay, so I'm going to give you number 1 and number 2. God created the universe. God has ownership over creation. The world belongs to God. All of creation, plants and animal kingdom, including humans, are guests on God's planet. Some of the people who talk about God the most think they own the earth. They don't. We're guests. It's God's planet, Earth. We must think about those who will come after us in future generations and others throughout the world today. Number 2, God's creation is good. In Genesis 1:31, God says that creation is very good. This means the world as it is created works well. All the pieces fit together. Everything God created fits into the design of creation, including humans. This is the harmony of creation. We must be careful not to disrupt or destroy the harmony of creation. And with that, we're going to turn with our bar mitzvah, the man with whom I share a birthday, and the man with whom I share the first 3 letters of my name. We're on page 16. Eli's going to lead us in the Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malahei Ashari, Malahei Elyon, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Teidem Shalom Malahei Shalom Malahei Yon Mi Melech Amlahim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
So I wasn't really being overly generous with Eric when I said we can make the service shorter tonight, because the reality is that the service is shorter tonight. Why? Because right now this is known as Shabbat, Chol, HaMoed, Sukkot. This is the Shabbat that falls during the intermediary days of Sukkot. And the tradition is that on those days, you cut out all of the psalms of Kabbalat Shabbat, of welcoming Shabbat. And just to make sure that we were on the up and up, because my heart was going shorter tonight, I didn't want to do it just because, for my sake. So Cantor and I checked the Luach when we met this morning, and it said that the tradition is you can start with Mizmor LeDavid or LeDavid Mizmor, which means it comes after all of these other psalms, right? And then when it came to Lecha Dodi, it said it depends on Minhag HaMakom, the custom of the community. So our custom here has been that on a Chol HaMoed Shabbat that we do Lecha Dodi. So we're going to do no different tonight, page 38, and then 40, Lecha Dodi.
Lecha lecha dodi, likra likra kala, pnei pnei Shabbat nikabelo. Lecha lecha dodi, likra likra kala, pnei pnei Shabbat nikabelo. Lecha lecha dodi, likra likra kala, pnei pnei Shabbat nikabelo. Lecha lecha dodi, likra likra kala, pnei pnei Shabbat nikabelo. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, ish v'yonu el ha'meyuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, l'shemo tiferet v'lirchi la la la. Lecha lecha dodi, likra likra kala, pnei pnei Shabbat nikabelo. Lecha lecha dodi, likra likra kala, pnei pnei Shabbat nikabelo. Next stanza, likrat. Likrat Shabbat lahu v'nelcha, ki mekora b'racha, nerosh mikadem nesucha, so ma'aseh b'machashavat achila la la. Lecha lecha dodi, likra likra kala, pnei pnei Shabbat nikabelo. Lecha lecha dodi, likra likra kala, pnei pnei Shabbat nikabelo. Top of page 40, Hitorari. Hitorari, Hitorari, Kiva orech kumi ori, ori ori shitaveri, Kivor Adonai Elohayich nigla la la. Lecha lecha dodi, likra likra kala, pnei pnei Shabbat nikabelo. Lecha lecha dodi, likra likra kala, pnei pnei Shabbat nikabelo. Second to last stanza, Yamin. Yamin usmol tifarotzi, ve'et Adonai taritzi, ayarish beparti, ve'nismecha v'nahagi la la la. Lecha lecha dodi, likra likra kala, pnei pnei Shabbat nikabelo. Lecha lecha dodi, likra likra kala, pnei pnei Shabbat nikabelo.
Let's all rise facing the doors of the synagogue, welcoming the beauty, the love, the rest of Shabbat.
Ohev Shalom.
פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. So let's all be seated, and I'd like to share with you now number 3 and 4 of the top 10 list of Judaism and the environment. Number 3, human beings are created in the image of God. We believe that deeply. Human beings have a special place and role in the order of creation. Humans have a special role to maintain the order of creation, even while using it for their own purposes. Of the entire animal kingdom, only humans have the potential to disrupt the order of creation. Therefore, we have to be very careful in our relationship with God's creation. And then number 4, humanity should view their place in creation with love and awe and respect. When we see the beauty and grandeur, the greatness of creation, we stand in awe of the world. When we study creation with all the tools of modern science, we feel a sense of love and connection to an order larger than ourselves. We should live with a sense of respect that we and all of humanity are part of one creation. So with that, let's turn to the evening service for the Shabbat, Chol, HaMoed, Sukkot. Mom and Dad, Eric and Robin, if you'll join us on the bima to open the Aron Kodesh, we'll all rise. The evening service begins page 50. Page 50. Robin opens.
La 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 Baruchu et Adonai haborach.
Baruch Adonai haborach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai haborach leolam va'ed.
Baruch
atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim. בחוכמה פותח שערים, ובתבונה משנה עתים, ומחליף את הזמנים, ומסדר את הכוכבים במשמרותיהם, ברקיע כרצונו, בורא יום ולילה, גודל אור מפני חושך,
וחושך מפני אור.
ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ולילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב הרבים.
Amen. Eric, you can close. So Eli, you're going to be up in just a moment for the Shema V'Ahavta. Why don't you stand over here, because in between this prayer and the Shema, we're not supposed to say anything, so I won't be introducing. Oh, you can all be seated. I won't be introducing the Shema, so you'll just wait until Cantor chants the bottom bracha, Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael, and then you're on with the Shema. Okay? So here we go. We sing of love, God's love for Israel through the gift of Torah, Ahavat Olam, 52. So I hope, Yeshkoch, Eli. I hope you all know the name Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel, who taught at the Jewish Theological Seminary for many years, and was a great thinker of Jewish life, and especially dealing with Kabbalistic thought. And he grew up in Europe as a Chassid. So, though he didn't live his life as a Chassid later, he kept that kind of spirit with him, and he was also committed to social justice. You may have seen the picture of Rabbi Heschel walking arm in arm with Dr. Martin Luther King, and then they became dear friends. So he had a lot to teach us. So one of the books that he wrote is called simply The Sabbath, and within it, he says it says like this: Shabbat is a day for us to live in harmony with creation and not to take advantage of creation. If possible, it is better to walk than drive on Shabbat. And I endorse that. The conservative movement's official position is that if you're going to drive on Shabbat, you can only drive to the closest synagogue and home. Some people find it much holier to drive to the shopping center on Shabbat. So, we all find our holy places. So if somebody's kind enough to invite me for a Shabbos meal, I have to say no, because I just drive here, drive home. That's it. But better to walk than drive on Shabbat. If I walked and I left on Saturday morning, I'd get here by Sunday morning. In that, we are saving sources of energy. Yeah. If we all drive a little bit less, we'd be making a major contribution. Since we don't shop on Shabbat, we are not acquiring new things. We live with and are happy with what we already have. You know, these are really maybe deep thoughts, and maybe they're easily, dismissed. No, I don't do that. But, just think about really the meaning they can give to one's life. On Shabbat, it's not a matter of getting new and acquiring new. It's to live with what we have and to be happy with what we already have. Number 6 is the Torah prohibits the wasteful consumption, usage of anything. This law is called Bal Tashchit. We learn it in the Torah when we are told that we are not permitted to cut down fruit trees even in a time of war. It's an interesting context in which to learn it. We are not to waste resources such as water or energy, or endanger resources with water pollution or air pollution that could possibly be prevented. Okay, we have just 4 more to go, but for now we'll continue with Micha Mocha towards the bottom part of page 60. Bottom part of page 60.
ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה ובני ישראל כענו שירה בשמחה רבה ויאמרו כולם מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך
Help us to lie down in peace and awaken to life in the morning. We'll continue page 62. Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom Leshalom HaMoed Malkeinu L'chaim Shabbat Shalom Aleinu Ve'al kol amo Yisrael Ve'al Yerushalayim.
Together with Eli Vishamro, page 64.
Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat La'asot et HaShabbat Ledorotam berit olam Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat La'asot et HaShabbat Ledorotam berit olam Ve'ni uvein b'nei Yisrael Oti le'olam Oti le'olam Oti le'olam Ve'shamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat La'asot et HaShabbat
Ledorotam berit olam.
Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim v'et haaretz v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et hashabbat la'asot et hashabbat ledorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat
Ledorotam berit olam. The Hebrew words pikuach nefesh means saving life. And pikuach nefesh is so important that we have a rabbinic statement that pikuach nefesh doche et HaShabbat, that if it's a matter of saving life, that takes precedence over Shabbat. So here the Torah teaches an obligation to save human life, pikuach nefesh. We have to be extremely careful that any chemicals or materials that we use today or any pollution that is caused today not endanger human lives in the near or far future. And if you say, well, that doesn't really ever happen, does it? Just listen to the lawyers' commercials on TV, right? And, people that were at, Camp Lejeune, and finally the law was passed not that long ago that those who were at the site of the bombing on 9/11, 2001, and they had to breathe in all of those and so many that survived that day then had horrible illnesses and passed away. So it was too long in coming, but the law was passed, and we have to be extremely careful that any chemicals and materials that we use today not endanger human lives in the near or far future. And number 8, the Torah prohibits the extinction of species and causing undue pain to non-human creatures. This is known as tsa'ar ba'alei chayim. Tsa'ar ba'alei chayim. A concern for the welfare of animals is called tsa'ar ba'alei chayim. In how we live and interact with the planet, we should be aware of how this affects the rest of the animal kingdom. God commanded Noah to take at least 2 of every animal species, so no species would be lost. We must be careful today in how human behavior has an effect on other animal species. For example, overfishing can potentially result in the extinction of certain type of fish. And there's many, many more, unfortunately, of examples of this. Okay, let's turn to Chatzi Kaddish, and then we'll take a few moments for individual and quiet prayer and reflection. Page 66.
יתגדל ויתקדש שם רבה.
Amen.
יעמד דברי חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל מעגלה בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעלמי יומיים. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שם קודשא ברכו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן מעלמה ואמרו Amen.
So once again, a few moments for individual quiet reflection. For those davening, the Ma'ariv Amidah begins on page 69, goes through 76, 77.
Shalom Rava Yisrael Omcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rava Yisrael Omcha Tasim Le'olam. Ki ata melech Adon v'chol Shalom. Ki ata melech Adon v'chol Shalom. Shalom Rava Yisrael Omcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rava Yisrael Omcha Tasim Le'olam. לטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רבה ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רבה ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם.
Let's turn to Vayechulu, page 80, which will be followed by Eli's chanting of the Shabbat Kiddush. Just clearly, we need a conference for this. Cantor is saying Sukkah, so why don't we do it both places?
Oh.
Because maybe not everybody's going to go into the Sukkah, okay?
AG.
You're on here and in the Sukkah, Eli, okay? Yeah.
ויכולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם ויכל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה וישפוט ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה. ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו כבוש אבל מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות.
Let's all rise. Eli, you're on page 90, Shabbat Kiddush. Take the cup of wine. It's all yours.
Baruch atah Adonai.
Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam. Borei peri hagafen.
Good. He's got it, everybody. Good.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'ratzon yinhilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reshit ki hu yom tehila lemikrai kodesh zeher l'tziyah Mitzrayim.
Kivanu v'charta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava u'ratzon hinchaltanu.
Baruch Hu Baruch Shemo.
Mikadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. L'chaim.
L'chaim. L'chaim. There you go. Eli, Eli, man. You know, Cantor, I don't know that he'll be able to do it in the sukkah.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Eli, you are the man. Usually kids take a half a sip and make a full face over it.
I imagined it was apple juice and down there.
Better watch out. He's ready for college. Okay, so we'll say the blessing for the sukkah. Once we're in the sukkah, why don't we all just take our seats for a moment. I want to share with you the last two on my top 10 list of Judaism and the environment. Justice, tzedek. In Hebrew, it says in the Torah, tzedek, tzedek tirdof. Justice, justice shall you pursue. And tzedek is central to Judaism. Judaism is doing justice is doing what is right and good and proper. We should keep in mind issues of justice and always ask whether how we are treating the planet and how we are treating other people, is that an expression of justice? And I'm sure we've all heard the term tikkun olam, repairing the world, fixing the world. Yeah. Tikkun olam. There is an important midrash, a rabbinic commentary on the Bible, that says, when God created the first human beings, God led them around the Garden of Eden and said, look at my creation. See how beautiful and how excellent it is. I created it for your sake. See to it that you do not spoil or destroy my world. If you do, there will be no one else to repair it. We are to be extremely careful not to harm God's creation, and we should try as much as possible to repair the damage that has been done to any parts of our planet. So the story of God taking Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, that's really a expression of the rabbi's imagination. There's no sense to force yourself to believe that really happened, or whether it's true or not, and it may well be not exactly true, but there is a truth in it. I hope that makes some sense. There can be a truth in something that is not literally true, right? It's a story that expresses a truth. And we ought to look at our world that way, to say to ourselves, God created this planet, not for God's self, but for us. And that if we mess it up, there's nothing else existent that can repair it. Nothing else. It's either us or... So that's the truth that is within this story. So once again, we are to be extremely careful not to harm God's creation, and we should try as much as possible to repair damage that has been done to any parts of our planet. And with that, I'll ask my friend Eli, how you doing, buddy?
Fine.
Feel like a little buzz or something?
I'm feeling a bit warm.
Feeling warm. Okay. Okay. What is the expression, a one-off? Is that the expression, it's a one-off? So this is a one-off, Eli. Like, it happened, and, like, what I'm saying is don't make a regular habit of guzzling wine as if it's apple juice, right?
I tried to smell it before, while the prayer was going on. I was like, I think it's wine. I'm not quite sure. And I was just like, you know what, whatever.
If I find out that this is apple juice, I'm going to be much less impressed by what you did, Eli. Right now, I'm very impressed. Okay, let's rise for the Aleinu. 118. Oh, Olivia, this time, if you'll join us on the bima to open the Aron Kodesh.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויסר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת עוזו בגובה מרומים. O Eloheinu ein od, emin malkeinu efes ulato, Golgoto b'torato, v'yadata hayom, v'ashegota elevavecha, ki Adonai hu Elohim, b'shamayim imal, v'yal haaretz, v'itachat ein od, ein od.
Olivia, on this side, you'll close between the door and the curtain, look a little bit higher. There you go. Great. Let's all be seated. $120, Al Kain de Kavelach.
כי המלכות שלה היא עולמיה תמלוך בכבוד, ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר, והי אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד. ושמו אחד, ושמו אחד.
Friends, if you might turn with me to page 171, and if you'll join with me in the penitential Psalm, Psalm 27, even though we've gone past Yom Kippur, according to tradition, the books are still not totally sealed until Hoshana Rabbah, which will be on Sunday. So we still continue to recite the penitential psalm. The Lord is my light and my help. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Whom shall I dread?
Should an army be arrayed against me, I would not fear. Should war beset me, still would I be confident.
Should an army be arrayed against me? One thing I ask of the Lord, for this do I yearn, that I may dwell in God's house all my life, to feel God's goodness in God's sanctuary.
On the day of trouble, God will shield me, lift me to safety. My head will be high above my foes.
In God's tabernacle I will bring offerings of jubilation with chanting and joyous singing.
O God, hear my voice when I call. Be gracious to me and answer me.
Adonai, I truly seek you. Do not hide yourself from me. Do not, in anger, turn from your servant.
You have always been my help. Do not forsake me, O God, my deliverer.
Teach me your way, Adonai. Lead me on a straight path. Deliver me not to the will of my adversaries.
Trust in Adonai and be strong. Take courage and hope in Adonai.
קבל אדוני חזק ויאמץ ליבך וקבל אדוני.
We take these sacred moments to call to mind those whose yortzites are observed today and those who have been observed during the course of the past week. We lovingly recall Bessie Snyder, Benjamin Gross, Albert Rudolph, Joel Pivar, Sarah Barson Perone, Gloria Kaiser, Tilly Diamond, Harriet Belsky, mother of Gail Rosenfeld. It's good to be together tonight, Gail. Frances Rubenstein, aunt of Barbara Rosenzweig, Ida Lewick, Brooke Lerner, Stanley Jaffe, Arnold Bernstein, Hesh Wolov, Faye Geltzer, Morton Mandel, Jack Leventhal, Dorothy G. Kappenstein, Eric Jason Hammer, Mary Saunders, Alina Nones, Ethel Knock, Erwin Kleiman, Bill, your precious daughter, Rebecca Gorodetzer, daughter of Bill and Lois Gorodetzer, Morris Fine, Dorit Ofer Shapiro, Evelyn Schwartz, Marlene Korn, dear mother of Scott Korn. It's good to be together tonight, Scott. And Jacob Klein, grandfather of Barry Klein. May each of their memories continue to be cherished for a loving blessing. We hold on to the loving memories of those whom we have more recently lost during the course of this past year. And in your presence, Suzanne, I want to mention your dear father, Joe Cates, and Arlene, your dear brother, Freddie Selznick. May each of their memories continue to be cherished for a blessing. If I can invite all those here and at home who are reciting Kaddish to please rise, and we'll find Kaddish Yatom 124. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Bi'olma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael ba'agala u'bizman kariv imru. Amen.
Amen.
Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach ve'olam ul'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei v'yithadar v'yitoleh v'yithalal shmei dekudsha brechu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata ta'amiran bi'olma v'imru. Amen.
Amen.
Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al Yisrael v'imru. Amen.
Amen.
Oseh shalom b'imromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al Yisrael v'imru. Amen.
Amen.
For greetings and announcements, our congregation's president, Michael Goldstein. Maya is not joining you tonight, Michael? Huh?
I didn't want to upset Eli, I guess.
Oh, okay.
She wanted to.
You're going solo tonight,
Yeah,
huh?
solo,
Okay,
so.
okay.
All right, Eli, Yasher Koach. My wife and I were just commenting what a beautiful voice you have, so I have a proposal. Every time there's not a bar mitzvah, you come and you lead services, and then you get the free wine. And it's legal. Think about it. All right, well, the salary's good.
Duly noted.
Well, obviously, Eli's bar mitzvah is tomorrow. It's a doubleheader. Then on Sunday, the bar mitzvah of Max Kushner. Then a lot going on through the weekend, and then into Monday and Tuesday. Of course, Simchat Torah services and Shmini Atzeret services on Monday at 9:30 in the morning, 11:15, and then of course the ice cream party at 6. And then Tuesday, 9:30, followed by a luncheon in honor of Sharon Goldstein and Eileen Shine. The regular walking club on Wednesday at 9:30, and then auditions for the Descendants, if anybody's interested, at 6:45. That's the Ohev Players show that we do at the synagogue. Thursday, canasta, and then Torah on tap with the men's club at 7:30. I encourage you to pick up one of these on your way out. We have other upcoming events on the back, including Share Shabbat, at Teenies, which and Meet the Congressional Candidates, which is on the 30th on a Sunday at 8:45. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thanks, Michael. So our custom has been that if the weather permitting on the Friday night of Sukkot, weather permitting, we'll go into the Sukkah. This is an unlikely time of year for weather to be permitting, but this is one of the most beautiful Friday nights of Sukkot that we've had in a long, long time. So after, as soon as we finish the service, we're going to leave the sanctuary and go into the Sukkah. You all saw it coming in, so you know where it is. And let me just say that it's a little tricky when you walk into the Sukkah because there's a metal horizontal. There's no way to do without it. It's part of the Sukkah itself. So just be careful taking your step into the Sukkah, right? It's a little tricky. You might want to have somebody bring you something outside the Sukkah, right? Ay, ay, ay. Okay. So, Eric and Robin, we celebrated a few years ago with Olivia becoming a bat mitzvah. Great to celebrate once again with Eli, my birthday partner, becoming a bar mitzvah this Shabbat. And actually, it was just yesterday, Eli, that I celebrated on the Hebrew calendar my anniversary of becoming a bar mitzvah. Yeah, cool. So look, you know, only separated by a good number of years, but it was yesterday. Still feels like yesterday. Okay, folks, so let's wrap things up. We'll be the guests of the Bar Mitzvah family at the Sukkot Oneg Shabbat. So enjoy. Kenner, how about if we wrap things up with Adon Olam 128?
That's great.
La 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 ya 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 la 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 Adon Olam Asher Malach v'terech ko yetzir nivra le'enasa b'chefzo ko azai melech shemo nikra ve'acharei kichlot hakol levado yimloch nora ve'hu haya ve'hu hove ve'hu yeh betifara Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 Ve'hu echad ve'ein sheni lehamshilo le'achbira beli reshit beli tachlit ve'lo ha'oz ve'hamizrach ve'hu eli ve'chai go'ali ve'tzor chevli be'et tzara ve'hu nisi umanos li menakos li be'yom ekra Ve'yado kidrochi ve'yatishan ve'ya'ira ve'imrochi geviati Adonai le ve'lo era Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 Ya 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 la 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 Shabbat shalom Shabbat shalom Shabbat shalom u'mevorach Shabbat
Shabbos, everybody.
Shabbos.
Shabbat shalom. See you in the sukkah.